Hello, everybody. My name is Cousin. Nice to meet you. This is my daily challenge, speaking English for 30 minutes straight using TOEFL style questions, no scripts, just spontaneous answers, just like the real exam. Let's get started. Uh, Today was a good day. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I did my morning routine almost perfectly, except the end. Like the last 30 minutes, I tried to study English, but I didn't. I just just I messed with my phone. I just messed with my phone. But like I wanna score over 100 on the TOEFL test, so I have to study. But recently, I haven't I haven't been able to focus on the TOEFL. But I have to focus on the TOEFL. So this month, this month, I'm gonna study for the TOEFL hard. And I'll get I'm gonna get 100 next month. That's my plan. Because I decided to get one over 100 in this year. So I picked my nose. Yeah, so in order to keep my promise, I must get over 100. in this year. So that's why I'm doing this challenge too, to improve my English speaking skills. To make it quicker to speak English. To become quicker to speak English more quickly. To become quicker at speaking English, I do this challenge. To become quicker. To become quicker at speaking English, I do this challenge. To become quicker at speaking English, I do this challenge. Mm. So, review time. This room is dark. Yesterday it was cloudy, and today today too. Today too. Today is also cloudy, and my room is darker than usual. So, okay, next sentence. Make someone pay money for the emotional damage they caused. So why do we have a trial? Why do we sue someone? Because we want to make someone pay. We want to make someone pay money for the emotional damage they caused. So why do we have a trial, or do we sue someone? Because we want to make someone pay money for the emotional damage they caused. Occupation system. The yesterday's question was what should we do to prepare for an aging population? So Japan has its own Japanese pension system, but the pension system is already broken because the system will run out of money. So I will explain the structure. So in general, pension system is to give money to people who retired their jobs at a certain age, so they can't work or they don't work anymore, but they need money to survive. Then the government gives them money to live. So how do they give them the money? That's why pension system is created. Japanese pension system, yes. So younger people pay money to the government, and the government collects the money, and the government gives or uh, the government distributes the money to elderly people. However, so the money given to elderly people, the money the money given to elderly people comes from the taxes paid by young people. I'll say this sentence again. The money given to elderly people comes from the taxes paid by young people. So what happens if the number of young people are the number of young people is smaller? What happens? The number of young people becomes smaller than the number of elderly people. The pension system would run out of money, and the system would be broken. So that's happening now in Japan. And the young people right now, when they become older at the age when they retire, maybe they wouldn't be able to receive the money because young people at that time, they won't be able to pay the taxes because at that time the number of young people would be much more smaller than now. So that's why we have to deal with this problem. Maybe the government. The number of young people is smaller than the number of elderly people. Okay, so the question again. What should we do to prepare for an aging population? So I don't understand what does this exactly mean? So about the pension system, we should change the pension system. We should change the pension system to to adapt to the population, to the Japanese population right now. Wait. The population in Japan. Adapt to the population in Japan. Or we declining birth rate problem. Declining birth rate problem. Or we have to ameliorate the declining birth rate problem in Japan. We have to increase the population in Japan. Not from foreign countries, but in this country, in Japanese. So we have to think about how we increase the number of Japanese population. Not bringing population from foreign countries. Okay. What should we do to prepare for an aging population? There are two ways to prepare for an aging population. First, we should change the current pension system in Japan because of declining birth rate problem. Because of the declining birth rate problem in Japan, the number of young people is smaller than the number of elderly people, which means the government will become no longer you can no longer, the government will no longer give money to elderly people. Wait. I wanna answer this question from the beginning. What should we do to prepare for an aging population? We should do, there are two ways to prepare for an aging population. First, we should change the current pension system in Japan because of declining birth rate problem. The pension system will be broken because the number of younger people because the number of young people is smaller than the number of elderly people, which means the government can no longer pay money to elderly people because they can't collect money from enough money from young people. So that's the first way. And another way, second, uh, second, we should we should ameliorate the declining birth rate problem. So if the number of young people is larger than the number of elderly people, lots of problems would be solved. And Japanese GDP would improve. So we should think about how to increase the number of young people. Thank you. Okay. How might cities change in the future? What cities change? How might cities change in the future? Cities. Difficult, very difficult. I've never thought about this kind of question. Cities. So cities. So after the COVID-19, we started getting used to remote works. Before that, we didn't know remote works actually worked, but we realized that remote works are possible. So we don't need no longer stay in cities to work, because we can work from the place far away from the office. So we started moving to rural areas. So the population in cities would declining, would decline, and depopulate. So cities would become depopulated. So need no longer stay in cities because we know that we can work far away from the office. We no longer need, we no longer need to stay in cities because we know that we can work far away from the office. We no longer need to stay in cities because we know that we can work far away from the office. Then cities would become depopulated. That's my expectation. That's my expectation. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. That's my guess. That's my expectation. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. And the cost of living, the cost of living in cities have been getting higher each year. So it's hard, it's difficult for us to live in cities. Sorry, it's more difficult for usual people to live in cities. So we easily, or there are so many reasons to move to urban rural sorry rural areas. That's my prediction. Thanks so much.